the boat in trouble. This time, Elmora was able to wriggle off the hook with 1:30 to go, and now they hold a favored position.
We're not going to have it. They call to each other.
Game here is to get up to full speed. Kayard makes his move first, and he'll be going faster when the gun goes off.
Go down below the line. 20. 17. 14. 13. 4, 3, 2, 1, gun.
Another clean start and another good job by Dellenbaugh.
Evening. Hi, Robin. Glad to see you. I'm going to start with a little tune. You're going to have to put up with my horrible voice. Little tune by Jiminy Cricket. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Fate is kind. It brings to those who love the sweet fulfillment of your secret longing. Like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. So, Pinocchio transed me. Disney transed me when I was a small child. You know, it's weird. It's very, very weird. It's very, very odd. Being a trans child, being a trans person, being a trans old lady. I'm gonna play the reason, and before y'all question or wonder, I asked Bree if I could share this. She did a short on her channel. That really brought me back to a time in my life when I was in fact transitioning, when I'd finally gotten to the many times that I'd wished upon a star to be a real person, the person I always was. You think back about you think back upon what is the story of Pinocchio, the puppet who wanted to be a real boy. Well, I was the doll who wanted to be a real girl. And so Bree put this post up um, that she entitled "Doll Thoughts." I think, and maybe this is uh, part of her thing. But anyway, she did this thing, and it's like I gotta share this because I just it just hit me right in the kisser. And she gave me permission to do it, so I'm gonna just, um, share, screen? Is that right? I don't even know. Doll thoughts, yeah, okay, here we go. I'm gonna play this. Alright, so can y'all see this? I don't even know if you can see it or not. I hope you do. I hope you can. Yeah. Let's see if this works. Alright, hang on a second. Wait, wait. Wait. I'll go back. Hold on. It's like since you can't see it, it's like, I'm having serious technical difficulties. Share screen. Share. Okay, you all see this bullshit now? I don't know. Yeah, I'm as good as I'm as good as it's like whatever. I hope you can see this. All right, sharing this tab too. It says it's sharing it, so I'm just going to share it.
I would have been, how much I would have weighed, whether I would have been a cheerleader, whether I could have been a model. I don't know, but I can't torture myself thinking about that. Just try to build a better world for all the dolls ahead of me, right? I do this torturous thing to myself where I'm like, wonder how tall I would have been if I had been able to transition when I was puberty. How tall I would have been, how much I would have weighed, whether I would have been a cheerleader, whether I could have been a model. I don't know, but I can't torture myself thinking about that. Just try to build a better world for all the dolls ahead of me, right? I do this.
I I I think I think y'all get the yeah. Well, okay. I don't know either, Bree. I don't know what I could have been. I don't know what I could have been. I know this. I know this for sure. I know that if I had transitioned earlier than 20-some years ago, probably my life would have been considerably different. And probably yours would have too. Not because of me, but because of, all the stuff. I'm, but I'm not really sure. I think it's really interesting that's like all of us, every human being can think of what would have happened i- if X path could have been followed. If I'd only gotten that doctorate, if I'd only gotten that something, if I'd only done this, if I'd only done that, then things would have been different. It's like, yeah, well, okay, yeah, if I'd only, but that's not the way life rolls. It's hard for trans folk who have been basically had their heart and their dream who took a lot of time and suffered through a lot of bullshit to realize it. And it took so much time to stop being the doll and to stop being the puppet and start being the person who you were. Like I said, I spoke with Bree earlier, and it's like her journey is early, not her life journey. Her life journey is a is a long process, as mine was. I transitioned when I was in my around 45. She started 4 years ago. Uh, and as I've talked in on this channel about um, the the growing into yourself nature of transition and really figuring out how to dance and how to live in the world. The nature of second puberty, as it were, especially later in life. It's curious, but when your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do, you can stop being a puppet. You can stop being a doll. You can stop being something others wish you to be and start being who you are. I think that's a really hard thing for anyone to do. It's particularly hard for trans people whose knowledge of their essence has been crushed for a long time. I don't know. I don't know what my life would have been like had my had the times been different, had my parents been different in their being receptive to my insistence on my being not who they thought, not their son, but their daughter? I have no idea. It's not like I didn't tell them, but I have no idea. My friend Barbara, it's like, if only we'd known back in third grade, yeah, maybe, who knows? Would I've gotten into sailing? Would I've gotten into any of this stuff? I don't know. But what I do know is that I lived the life. I mean, I do have, uh, I do have a life, and it includes all of that. It includes all of the confusion and the difficulty and the stuff. And here I am. I'm still alive and kicking. I'm not going to be alive for a great deal longer, but by God, the best thing I ever did was to live the dream, find myself and stop being the puppet and stop being the doll, stop being a fulcrum for other people's wishes and start being who I am, as uh, as authentic to um, the part of me that the essence of me that had to be buried for years because of the way the culture was or because of others' expectations. It's not easy. But anyway, you know. So for those of you who don't really quite grasp um, the trans experience, I'm just trying to convey a little bit of it. And I'm in out to Brie. It's like it's worth it. This journey's worth it. I mean, 27 years being myself. Yeah, the first 4, 5, 6 years, I really didn't get a grasp on who I could be for basically 7 years after starting transition. So to Bree, to the folks who are early on in this journey, let me tell you, it's hard because life is hard. It's a lot harder to be less than who you are. It's okay. So, it's one of my other favorite songs. It's okay. So, Pinocchio, I think, came out in 50 1949 or 50 or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, like I said, Walt Disney trains me. It's like I'm surprised that Trump hasn't banned the Walt Disney Corporation. But it's hard to fight the mouse. Like even Ron DeSantis has found it difficult to fight the mouse, albeit he has certainly fucking tried. But there's a song by Randy Newman. Okay, so it's like it's a song called "Guilty." 1940. Holy shit! So it's like 13 years before I was born. There you go. But Randy Newman's song "Guilty" is one of my favorites. And the last stanzas go as follows. You know how it is with me, baby. No, I just can't stand myself. Takes a whole lot of medicine for me to pretend that I'm somebody else. And it does. Takes a lot of medicine. So anyway, I don't know if this is too melancholy for folks, but it's just old Stefan here on the YouTubes and in the context of everything that's been going on in these precincts lately, it's just I don't care anymore. I just don't. I don't need to know who's right or who's wrong. I don't. I'm angered that people are tearing themselves apart and hurting other people for no goddamn reason. Except to preserve some modicum of I don't even know what. I think that to the extent that people want to go at each other hammer and tongs is all very well and good, but by golly, we've got a fucking fascist dictatorship in the making. It's it's rather cool that the guy from Queens got his ass booed by the entire fucking city of New York this evening. That was very, very cool. I like that. It's like you know, it's hi John. Hey, listen, okay, I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna do the YouTube thing, right? I'm gonna do the hi PC, hi Robin, hi John. I don't even know who's watching, but this 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 crazy community of folks I've known some of whom have been tremendous, and some of whom have just gone way the fuck off the rails. I just, uh, I, it's, we've got so many bigger fish to fry. I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to go to the polls in the great state of Maine, and I'm going to vote. Now, do what? Okay. It's like, well, you're going to vote for the. Y'all know what's going on in Maine. Sure as hell don't want Susan Collins to have another 6 years in the goddamn Senate. Right? Don't like it. My my initial take on Janet Mills, who I very much appreciate, has been a tremendous governor, has been a tremendous attorney general, has years and years of experience. She's 80 fucking years old. It's like, huh? Huh? What? It's like I would. Thankfully, in the great state of Maine, we do have ranked choice voting, so I will be ranking my choices. I think that the that that the DNCC last time around, when Collins was running in 2020, I think it was, her opponent was the absolute worst, handpicked by the DNCC, the Democratic, Congressional Committee, Sarah Gideon. She was the worst choice imaginable to run in the state of Maine. She's from away. Rhode Island girl running against a county girl. I'm not sure that's going to work. Sarah also happened to be my fucking town councilor, who literally at the time, back in the day, when I was on the other side of a particular issue in the town of Freeport, was willing to tolerate her fellow town councilors saying, when I'm walking to the podium in public comment period, her fellow town councilors whispered to one another, "Here comes the she." That's my gal, Sarah Gideon. Right? So it's like, okay. But I'm not voting. I'm not voting for. I won't be voting for the perfect person. I'm going to be voting for the person who will defeat Collins, and that's the Oyster Man. I'll be putting him at least in the top 3 of my ranked choices on the Democratic side. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to put him, but I don't think Janet is going to be able to beat Susan. I don't. And I don't think that the I don't think the status quo is tenable any longer, because the status quo in my lifetime has led to this moment where, where this is nothing new. I mean, the dismantlement, everything that Plattner is saying is absolutely true. It, the, and in my life, I can tell you that dismantling the New Deal has been the project of the Republican Party, particularly this particular wing of the Republican Party, which I would call the John Birch Society wing of the Republican Party. They took over the Republican Party. This is not the not the Rockefeller Republican Party. This is not the Gerald Ford Republican Party. This isn't even the Dick Nixon Republican Party. This is the Robert Welch Republican Party, the Robert Welch Republican Party, the Joe McCarthy Republican Party, the um, the let's go back to let's go back to keeping the down. We don't want darkies in our schools. I mean, this is not new rhetoric to me. This is old rhetoric, and and uh, and it's been legitimized and snuck into American politics with the election of Ronald Reagan. This is a long project. And my advice to those of you who want progressive politics to proceed is, okay, good. Do the fucking work, right? You want to end the war in Vietnam? Go fucking march in the streets of Washington. You want to make civil rights a reality? Go fucking march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, as my brother-in-law did. You want this shit to be real? Go ahead and do it, but don't stop doing it. Don't stop doing it. Don't think that just because in 1972 a court decision was made that made women that acknowledged the fact that women had reproductive rights. Don't take your foot off the fucking pedal. You've got to keep it going. Think about what happened, 72, Roe v. Wade. Okay, great. Yahoo! ERA was happening at the same time. People took their pedal off the metal. ERA did not pass. And it was this close, didn't pass. I mean, thinking about American history, just like Virginia was the state that was going to put the ERA over the threshold. It did, but there was an expiry on it. The requisite number of states have voted for the Equal Rights Amendment, but it's not law. because we didn't keep our foot on the pedal. You got a lot more shit to worry about. And, we have to need to worry about cleaning up our own messes in our own aisles. That's absolutely true. But I think we all need to need to realize that it's going to take all of us pulling in the same direction to make the kind of change you want to see in the future a reality, because my generation failed. We did. We failed. We look back, something, people my age, and it's like people my sister's age, who was 15 years older than I, who were there and were in the streets during the civil rights struggle. I was, my time in the streets was in opposition to the war, but too many of us just fucking let it go. Thought it was going to be okay. And so, or thought it's okay. Milestone made, right? 1965. It's like all of a sudden it's all good, and it's like, and then all of the troubles of all the turmoil of 68, 69, with Bobby and King going. But it's like we haven't had a transformational leader like Jack Kennedy since Jack Kennedy, right? And even now, when you think about the fact, when was America greatest? Of these idiots that talk about making America great again? Like, when was America the greatest? What are their fondest fever dream imaginations thinking about America's great times? The 1950s? Really? Really? Do they not recall that in the 1950s, the top marginal tax rate was 90%? There's a fucking reason for that. We're living in the Gilded Age right now. The fucking, we're living in basically the financial equivalent of the 1890s. The Gilded Age. And we need a trust buster like Teddy Roosevelt. We need the people like we need the people like Francis Perkins, who longer serving as Plattner brings her up, which is so great. Francis Perkins spent her a good deal of time here in Maine. She was the longest serving Secretary of Labor in United States history. She is responsible for Social Security. She is responsible for a whole shit ton of the New Deal programs. And you know what Franklin Roosevelt said? It's like, I think that's really cool. Now make me do it. and make me do it from FDR's standpoint was get the people to make the change. You know, it's like, look, people need to fucking people need to people need to realize that what it's going to take is not just sitting back and listen to this bullshit. It's literally, it's the people in New York City this tonight telling Donald to just, you know, yeah, you're from Queens. Go sit down over there. Over there in that corner over there. You're full of shit. I'm looking something up here. I'm sort of rolling off and rambling. Uh, come on. I hate pop-ups. This is the quote I was looking for. This is Franklin Roosevelt, 1936, I think. Madison Square Garden speech. We had to struggle with the old enemies of peace. Business and financial monopoly, speculation, reckless banking, class antagonism, sectionalism, war profiteering. 1936, people. They had begun to consider the government of the United States as a mere appendage to their own affairs. We now know that government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob. Never before in all our history have these forces been as united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred. That's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That's what we need. In this moment, we need that. Hey, Dave. We need that. We need that energy. I'm, I've swerved into the politics stuff, but I've swerved into it as a trans woman. It's like it's all of a piece. It's all of a piece. It's all a piece of what we struggle with. Whether it's struggling with the whatever could have been, what the might have beens. And like I told her on the phone earlier on, it's like, listen, honey, you just don't worry about the might have beens anymore. Your heart's in your dream. No request is too extreme. You're going to be you. You're not going to be you. You're not the puppet anymore. You're not the puppet anymore. You're you. You're just you. And you get the chance to be you. You don't need to listen to people on the internet. You don't need to listen to anybody. You can just be you. Right? Hey, Bree. I'm so glad you're here. It's really fucking important for people to realize the moment we're in, realize the moment that should be uniting us. And focus on that. It's the biggest thing we have to face right now. Yeah, I want to be sure that bad actors don't tiptoe, get a pass. But I also want, I also want people to fucking pay attention to the way people react to accusations and all of this stuff. Are they just walking away and letting other people do their dirty work? Are they just fucking, or are they fucking confronting it? I mean, I think we're living in a fucking poisonous time. Everybody wants to hurl accusations this way and that, and I don't, for myself. I mean, the accusations that have been hurled my way, it's like, all right, fine. In these little small communities, to hurl any accusation you fucking well, please, try to fucking hurt me. You can't. You can't. You can't. You know, because I've got bigger fish to fry. I want to see I want to see the country change. I want my trans siblings, my trans great grandchildren to be able to be themselves. That's the most important thing. I want people to pay attention. That's not, it's not helpful. You're not an ally if you're telling me to go die alone. What the fuck, man? You're not an ally if you're telling me it's like, go fuck yourself. It's like, fine. It's like, okay. I mean, we can do all of that. I've said on the stream many times here. It's like I'd rather be in a bar fight than deal with these dickheads. Oh, come on, man. Literally, I mean, a literal bar fight. I'd rather be smacked by some right-wing dickhead in a bar than deal with fucking allies who tell me to go fucking die alone. Eh? And then sneak off. Yeah, John, they're way much easier. And it's like, come on now. It's kind of instantaneous. It's like, oh, you told me to shut up, and I thought I heard stand up, and you smacked me across the face with a tire iron. Yeah, well, that's maybe. But this is the level at which the community is behaving right now. And I think it sucks because it's not useful. Picking apart the minutia of religious belief is beyond belief at this point in time. Yeah, it's academically interesting, and yeah, I mean, I listened to Nemo the Mormon's podcast. It's like 2 hours of Exmos going at the Mormon Church, British Exmos going at the Mormon Church for sending a bunch of 80-year-olds over to fucking England. Yeah, Nemo the Mormon, check him out. He's really quite cool. If you're interested in Exmo stuff and ex-culty stuff and all of that, listen to 2 hours of that on account of the fact it's like, this is interesting. It's like, how come on account of the fact, at least in part, that the Mormon Church is the largest goddamn landowner outside of outside of the fucking Roman Catholic Church. They're wealthy as fuck, and they're all over the place. They're just embedded all over the place. These people are crazy, and they don't cotton up folk like me very much. Yeah, John. Yeah, I've been over it for a long time. And I'm over the goddamn, it's like I'm over the goddamn call-in shows, the total fucking the garbage. Well, what are they all about? They're all about getting people to pay them money. You know, that's what they're all about. It's like, oh well, it's it's a show. And if the show's not, if the show's not making the eh, at least the line is honest about it. know? They're trying to make money. At least some of these folks, some of your heroes in this thing, at least some of them are honest about it. They're trying to make a living. They don't they don't they don't don't make any bones about it. It's like, well, it's like Dillahunty. You don't like Dillahunty, fine, but Dillahunty is sitting there going, "Yeah, I'm making good money at this." It's like, okay, fine, and maybe it does some good to some people. For some people, maybe it's causing people to reflect upon their belief system, but does it matter? I mean, there are plenty of atheists that are absolute fucking racist assholes. You know? Not just racist assholes, but transphobic assholes. Not just transphobic assholes, but misogynist assholes. Not there are plenty of atheists out there, and they are doing the same thing that all the secular humanist assholes are doing. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, why are we even bothering with this bullshit? Anyway, I started with and I'm going to try to end with compassion. And reaching your heart out to people who do struggle with their identity and in becoming and stopping and moving from a realm of of uh, of being Geppetto's creation to being your authentic self. Fate is kind. It brings to those who love the sweet fulfillment of their secret longing. Like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true.